Hi guys, how are you today? Welcome to your English class. My name is PerlaVazquez. I hope you enjoy and you learn a lot. Remember that you have to take notes about this video, and if you have any question, please let me know during the virtual class. So today we are going to work on the grammar part from your book Stopwatch 3 Unit A, and the objective is students will be able to use WH words to ask information questions. So let's start. What are the WH questions? Questions that start with WH. For example, what, who, where, when, why, which, and whose. And the WH questions cannot be answered with yes or no, instead of give you more information. So what? We are going to use what to ask about thing, name, idea, or an action. For example, what do you wear on your finger? I wear a ring on my finger. So in this question, we use what to ask about a thing. What do you wear? I wear a ring. Here we have another example. What do you think about the movie? In this question, we use what to ask about an idea. What do you think about the movie? I like the movie. And the last one, what will you do today? In this question, we use what to ask about an action. And we are going to answer, go. I will go to the playground. So remember, we are going to use what to ask about a thing, name, idea, or action. Who? We are going to use who to ask about a person. Who is he? He is Barack Obama, the President of the United States. Who is he? Barack Obama. We asking about a person. Who went on vacation? The family went on vacation. Who? The family. Who is crying? The baby is crying. Who? The baby. So remember, we are going to use who to ask about a person. Here we have where. We are going to use where to ask about a place or location. For example, where did you go? I went to the park. Where? To the park. In this question, we use where to ask about a place. Here we have another example. Where is my hat? In this question, we use where to ask about a location. Where is my hat? In the closet. So remember, we are going to use where to ask about a place or location. When? We are going to use when to ask about the time. For example, when did you get home from the school today? I got home from school at 3 p.m. When? At 3 p.m. And also we are going to use when to ask about dates. For example, when is your birthday? My birthday is on September 22nd. So when we are going to use to ask about days and time. Here we have why. We are going to use why to ask about reason or purpose. For example, here, why is he leaving? In this case, we use why to ask about a reason. He's leaving to go out, to go to work, sorry. And here we have another example using why. Why did you go to the store? In this question, we use why to ask about purpose. I went to the store because we needed X. Which? We are going to use which to ask about a choice. Which way will you go? Right or left? I will go left. to ask about a choice. Which apple do you want? The red apple or the green apple? I want the red apple. So remember, we are going to use which to ask about a choice. And whose? We are going to use whose to ask about possession or ownership. For example, whose shirt is on the floor? John's shirt is on the floor. Whose? John's. Whose pen is on the desk? My pen. So, what are the WH questions? Questions that start with a WH and, for example, what, who, where, when, why, which, and whose, and give you more information. What we are going to use to ask about a thing, a name, idea, or action. Who we are going to use to ask about a person. Where we are going to use to ask about a place or location. When we are going to use to ask about time or dates. Why we are going to use to ask about reason or purpose. Which we are going to use to ask about a choice. And whose we are going to use to ask about possession. So how to create questions, we are going to use WH words like what, where, when, who, which, whose, how often, how, the auxiliary, the subject, the verb, the complement, and the question mark. And here we have three examples: present simple, present continuous, and past simple. If we talk about present simple, we are going to use auxiliary does and do. Remember that we are going to use do for I, you, they, and we, and does for he, she, or it. For example, what do you do after school? Where do you take guitar lessons? When do you have lunch? Who do you hang out with? How often do you check your emails? Which sandwich do you want? So we are going to write the WH word, the auxiliary, the subject, the verb, and the complement. If we want to write a question in present continuous, we are going to do the same. We are going to write the W question, auxiliary, the subject, and the verb with ing. But in this case, we are going to use the auxiliary is, am, and are, and we are going to write the verb with ing. For example, what are you doing? What are you watching? Where are you going? And who are you talking to? Pay attention here. How often and when are not usually used in the present continuous. And finally, if you want to write a question in past simple, we are going to do the same, but now we are going to use the auxiliary did. For example, what did you do yesterday afternoon? What did you see at the movies last Saturday? Where did you find your keys? When did you get home? Who did you hang out with last summer? How often did you go to the park? And which bus did you take? So as a homework, you have to complete this exercise. You have to read the questions and you have to choose the best option. We have how, what, when, where, who, whose, and why. So you have to take a picture and you have to send me to my email. If you have any question, let me know during the virtual class. That's it for today. Thank you so much and bye-bye.